in your evidence, you referred to a confusing disconnect. So saying that the government in court has presented a very different narrative about the number of Afghans to be relocated to the one that it presents today. For example, the narrative in court was that the cost would be up to £7 billion, and the number of people that we're dealing with could be up to, from 25,000 to 42,000, whereas the narrative now seems to be that the costs are up to perhaps about 850 million, and that it involves around 6,900 people. So, do you believe that there is an agenda behind this change in narrative? Who would like to go first, please?
I don't know if there's an agenda, but it just was very stark that when the government were arguing with the judge about keeping the super injunction, there was one set of numbers, both for the cost and for the numbers coming, that were very high. And then when large numbers, and then when the government was explaining to the public what had happened after the super injunction was lifted, these numbers suddenly shrunk to very small numbers.
I also think it'd be quite hard for the MOD to tell, because they didn't necessarily start recording. I don't think, this person's here under ARAP, but their risk has been reviewed as a result of this data breach. Obviously then you have the AR asking, which is more comprehensive, and they do have numbers for that. But I think, and especially with the money, I think a lot of it did get merged in the response.
It's more a case of confusion and chaos rather than some sort of ulterior motive or agenda. Ms. Brown?
At the beginning, they were only going to let in about 150 of the Afghans, and then they sort of decided who they believed would be at higher risk. Right. It's a bit unclear how they went from then 40,000 to 20,000.
6,900.
Oh yeah, and 6,900 at one point. I'd be really interested to know how they've decided who gets to come and who doesn't.